So let's start with Senegal. They are the defending champion. Do you think that they have an extra motivation coming into this tournament to defend it and win it again?
I think so. After an abysmal World Cup under the coach Cisse, it's now a do or die affair for this Senegalese team heading to the AFCON. Not fully well, I think if he does not win the AFCON, he could be booted out because of the abysmal and shambolic performance they had at the World Cup, where everybody thought they were the team to beat. Instead, Morocco became the shining light in Africa. Remember, so I think there's another motivation for the team, for the coach Cisse, for the players to let everybody know that what happened the last time out was no fluke. It was a work in progress, and they are now not only one of the best teams in Africa, but they are the best team in Africa. We've seen teams in the past like Egypt go on a winning spree, Cameroon go on a winning spree, showing dominance in Africa for a certain period of time. And I think that's what the likes of Sadio Mane and his guys will want to do to ensure that they stamp the authorities with the best teams in Africa, which is the target for the team. So, but on paper, they like I said, they're one of the favorites to win it. But for the at least for the coach, especially Sisi, who is under criticism and under fire from the local media there in Senegal, it's something of a must win to calm the nerve and let them know that this project is something that will yield returns or yield rewards in the near future. So I think there's added motivation apart from the fact that they are defending champions and they want to defend their crown. There's a lot of pressure from home to perform, especially at this stage.
Okay, I don't know where this project is coming from actually, but I think the Senegalese are always expected to go for a tournament, even when they had the likes of Kalou Fadiga and Hadi Diop, and even the current coach, Cisse in their team, and Papi Cisse as well. They are
I
expected to
think
go for a tournament.
I think the pressure is coming. Like I said, I think when they don't believe that their team has arrived. In those days of the Kalou Fadiga, like you mentioned, the Cisses, the Papa Diop, the Diouf, Alhaji Diouf, they were not expected to do well in Africa. That was a golden era. Where they rise from the Rios and became one of the big teams in Africa. Even at the World Cup, when they went that far in 2002 World Cup in Korea, Japan, it was a shocker to the whole world. But now, with the
Yeah.
quality of players they got in their team, they've got the captain of the team, guy who was once in Napoli, now played in Saudi Arabia. They've got Sadio Mane. They got Edward Mendy. They've got quality players, are scattered around the team. They're now condemned to perform. No longer the underdog tag has been taken away from them. They're now favorites. And like at the World Cup, nobody expected them to go to the World Cup and shine like a million star. Everybody expected them to go to the World Cup and give a good account of themselves. I think they were below par at the World Cup. I quite personally agree that they were not where they ought to be at the World Cup. They could have gone further if they put the right, let's say, coaching or structure in place. So I think they want to correct the wrongs and right the wrongs. They are favorites. We know on paper because of the quality of team, but because of the fact they had a crazy World Cup and the fans are now calling for the head of the neck of the coach. There's now an added advantage to prove to the fans that come on, hey, this is just a blip, just a purple patch. We can rise again. We're still the best team in Africa.
Okay, but don't you think that uh, they need an extra motivation with respect to rejigging the team? Because you see, I think the team is aging because you have the likes of Sadio Mane in their 30s.
Yeah,
You have a lot of players that are going to their 30s, especially even their defender, Mamadou Koulibaly.
yeah.
The goalkeeper also, they are going. The goalkeepers, they are like fine wine. The more they get older, the more
Look at the game
experienced they
next up.
are, the more better they are. Yeah, exactly. So, but don't you think that the team is aging and you need a rejigging in the team?
I think to be sincere, to be fair to them, I think there's a mixture of both youth and aging players. If you look at some of the right back, Sis is quite young. Look at some of the players who play from the wings, the Bullet DIs of this world, quite young. Uh, Even Diata is not as old. He's barely 26. I know a lot of people will argue, oh wow, come on, it's been so long a time. Like Ahmed Musa has been in Spike for so long a time, but he's 26. So it's a mixture of youth and experience. Maybe as the key area of the team, like you said, in every team there's a leader. The leader in the defense is Koulibaly. Is getting old. He's in his 30s. The leader in the attack is Sadio Mane. Is old. He's in his 30s. The leader in the midfield as well is getting old. He's in his 30s as well. So there should be, I think they should be thinking of passing the baton to the younger generation. And to be sincere with you, they're not shy of talent. If you go around, especially in the French league, or There's so many Senegalese players scattered across the board that could pick up this baton whenever it falls on their feet. So I quite agree with you. They are quite aging, but if there's something we say we don't change the winning formula. This team has done so well for so quite a time. You can't break a winning team right now because of age. You see, I say something, I'll repeat it. I say it everywhere I go, and I'll repeat it again. If you are good enough, you're old enough. Doesn't matter if you're 15, you're 14, you're 39. We saw Peter Cech keep to his almost 36, 37 for his country. We saw Van der Sar keep to his 41. I'm going too far. Martin as well play to his 40. So if you are good enough, you are old enough to me.
Oh,
I think if
even Ryan Giggs also played to his 40 as well.
absolutely, it became like an old war horse. So it's just about getting them to be on their A game. My question is that would they be a bit rusty, knowing fully well that most of their top players play in Saudi Arabia? Is it as competitive as what they used to be when Sadio Mane was at Liverpool, when Koulibaly was at Chelsea or Napoli? When they had players scattered, most of the players are in the Middle East. So that's the big question.
Yeah.
Are they let's put it down, competition ready because of when they play their football? That's a big question we should ask.
Okay, I think that they should be competition ready. But for all we care, we want these teams to come up with their A game. Not only about winning it. We want an entertaining competition. We
Absolutely.
want this expansive football that the African flair mixed with the European flair and the tactics we need. I think that's what basically the African football is lacking. That injection of tactics from across all board. I think we have the strength, we have the power, we have
Yeah.
everything it takes, but we just need let's say a team like Senegal is like goes down. What can they really do? Those are the things we really want to see in African football. But that should come
See,
from
I
technical
think I
people.
think I think African football has come of age. To be sincere with you, I think we've got to the point where we can say, "Oh, these are the favorite. These are minnows." Please, I start to be corrected, and I repeat it every day of the week. And Philip, you know this. I still believe there are still
Yeah,
minnows in football. If there are no minnows in football, England will not beat Moreno 19 nil, 10 nil. There are
there
still
are still
minnows in
minnows in
football.
football.
They are. So I think that Senegalese is one of the teams we expect to see a lot of tactical abilities. A lot of questions will be asked on CC because the first African coach, I think was the only African coach to make it to the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. I said Morocco as well, who fired their coach just before at the nick of time and got in Ragragui, the coach who took them to the semi-final of the World Cup as well. So I think we want African coaches to win, not only win the African competition by physicality. We want to see some, like you said, some finesse, some swagger about their play. And this is where the African coaches need to step up. It's not about I don't want to see driving football. Oh, we won by no. I want to see good football. I want to see the ball moved around. I want to see a different style of play. We talk about the Choco Bonitos, the tiki takas, the counter attacking football, the gang pressing.
The Samba
This is
as
what I want
well.
to see. Exactly. This is what I want to see from our coaches. And this is my issue with the Super Eagles. We'll come to that very soon. We want to see a team that has a style, a philosophy, and that's what with Senegal. Senegal had a style at the AFCON. They came to the World Cup. I mean, should I say they were afraid? Or they were frightened, or the stage,
When they,
the stage had a
yeah,
toll on them.
when they beat France 1-2, they played in the final, but they didn't win the final at that time. When you have the likes of
Exactly.
Diop that play for Liga
Diop,
and
Diop
a
for
whole
the guy.
yes, and a whole lot of players, yes. Um, you have a whole array of big stars in that team. But at the end of the day, they didn't go far. They didn't really go far. But I think at the end of the day, yes, they went far. They went up to the quarterfinals of that competition,
Yeah,
and
I
it
want
took
to
them
further find out.
because they
I
were
think
because
they played good football. They played
yes,
very
they
good
did. They
football.
beat Sweden. Unfortunately,
They
they
beat
beat
France
Sweden
the
out of
host.
in that
Exactly.
France in the first match. So
Exactly. That that
yes, I
that is
think
what I'm talking. That's what I'm
yes,
talking
I think
about.
they
So
have
I think that's what I
men.
expect to see. That's what I expect to see for Senegal. See, apart from the whole going far, get to the semi-final, which I think they should, I want to see a bit of flair in their game. I want to be able to sit down and watch an African competition as if I'm watching the Premier League or the top leagues in Europe. So I think that's what I want to expect. And I think they've got the players who are very vastly exposed, players who have played the highest level. Most of Kaludi has played in the Champions League. Sane has been to a final of the Champions League 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. They've got a goalkeeper, the man who has also won the Champions League. So they're well exposed. So if there's
Yeah.
anything, they've got the players who can play at that highest level. So I'm more or less I'm looking at the football being played by Senegal, more or less like them going far because we expect them to go far because of the quality of players they've got.